back. And today we're doing a cauliflower gratin. That is pronounced gratin, not gratin.
Not Gratin.
Somewhere in the middle is a gratin.
What's a gratin or gratin?
Well, usually it's with potatoes and cheese and layers, kind of like a scalloped potato thing.
Okay.
And it's wonderful, total, like super comfort food. So we all need to be more comfortable these days. God forbid we should experience a moment of discomfort.
Oh no,
so,
not for us, not for I.
This is a great thing. We did it because at the farmer's market we found orange cauliflower and purple cauliflower, and it just looked so great. We think, let's make a gratin out of that and make it kind of ooey and gooey and cheesy and yummy with a bechamel, kind of like, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
But I said to you, I said, let's do that, but let's make it gluten-free. Or maybe qualify as paleo, because if you're trying to kind of get comfortable, but not get too uncomfortable around the waistline, or just too uncomfortable in general, you can be sort of comfortable with this one. It's very ooey, it's very gooey, it's very decadent, but it doesn't have white flour in it. So if you want to do without, this is the recipe for you.
And how many times can we use the word comfortable?
I don't know.
Let's get comfortable and let's watch how to do this. And at the end, and we'll see you at the end, and we'll probably use the word comfortable another 5 or 6 or 10 times.
Yes.
Here is our bicolor cauliflower gratin.
All inclusive. All right.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
Look how beautiful the orange and purple cauliflower are. It's so just wonderful. Nature is it's so wonderful.
Yes, and so we're going to blanch these. So this water here is simmering hot. See? Did you see the steam? And it has sea salt in it.
Do this carefully.
And the sea salt helps preserve the color and also helps flavor the cauliflower.
And it helps the water boil faster too.
It does.
Through the magic of chemistry.
So once that's done, I see you're putting it into an ice bath. So have that ready beforehand.
You want to shock it to stop it cooking, so it's cooked, but it's not going to get mushy. You don't want mushy.
And now we're going to make the roux.
The roux.
Yeah. So you take a stick of butter.
Pronounced Roux. R-O-U-X. Roux. No, it's roux.
It's roux. So you melt it and watch it melting like that. And then swish it around. Or just watch it melt.
It's a meditation.
It is, watching butter melt.
In comes some cassava flour.
You could use regular flour, but we want this to be gluten-free and technically grain-free.
We were making this for people who are gluten-free, so we are doing it that way. And cassava flour comes from the yucca root. Cassava is yucca.
Yucca, not yucca. Okay, guys? Not yucca.
I know we're obsessed with pronouncing things and also mispronouncing for fun, because it is fun to mispronounce things.
It is. And as you can see here, this is what you do. You just take a wooden spoon. Wooden spoons work for this. And you just move it around and get it nice and smooth.
And that's a great one. It's got a flat surface. It's not rounded, so it's just great for that purpose. I love that spoon.
And Geoff's moving the pan so that the heat doesn't just stay in one area underneath the pan. That way it doesn't burn. But you want it to be kind of a blonde roux, so you don't want to overcook it and brown it.
Yeah. And that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, we want to make a nice white sauce.
If I do say so myself. And I just did.
You did. So
yeah, see, look at that. That's nice. That's getting good.
I think it looks great. I love it.
Yes.
Your roux is beautiful. And look, you're making little patterns with it. So you can have fun with your roux too. So that is sea salt. So you want a little salt in there. And then that is another spice.
What? I wonder what it is.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think, you know what? No, I know what it is.
What was it?
It's a fermented chili powder.
Really?
Because we want a little bit of kind of heat in this sauce. It's a cream sauce, but we want to put a little heat in our cream sauce for the gratin. So I put a little fermented chili powder in there, about a teaspoon. But you see how it turns the color? Now it looks like you've browned it, but you really haven't.
Yeah.
So it's going to give it a little color. And then we debated over whether to put the nutmeg in.
I said no, and you said yes.
That's right. That's the extent of our argument. But I think we said no. There comes the
Whole milk.
The whole milk. You could also use almond milk.
If you wanted it to be dairy-free, you could do that, and it would be okay. You just gotta, observe and deal with the differences, because almonds don't come from cows. I just read this.
I didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, so you could use oat milk too, but I kind of think
Oat milk.
Oat milk. So anyway, we're adding more. Oh, this is more milk.
Yep.
So just another angle for you to see us and put it in there. And something that I wanted to note that we did that is technically not correct, but I wanted you because you can see it. When we first added it, you might have noticed that it was clumping, and that's because the milk was a little cold. So if you were worried if it clumps and you added cold milk and that's happening to you, just do what Geoff's doing there. Whisk vigorously. And it'll smooth out. It'll be fine.
You can fix it.
You really can.
It's not like a super critical thing.
No, but if you want it easier on yourself, warm up the milk. But don't use a microwave, okay? Just warm it up over the stove.
Yeah.
Gently. That's it. So, anyway, while this is happening, you can talk amongst each other. We can have a conversation.
Or if you're alone, then you have to grapple with the whole concept of being alone.
Yes, and as you're staring at the swirls of bechamel, this is what we're making. We never even said what we were making. We're making a bechamel.
It's a bechamel.
A bechamel.
Sauce.
With the rauks. I know, we're real pleased with ourselves. I'm sorry.
I know, it's excessive.
So feel free to,
Thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down, go for it, or hey, love us. Love us a little more just because you have to watch us making this roux in real time. This beautiful bechamel is happening. And you can see it's a true labor of love.
Well, yeah, we're actually, it looks like kind of pretty much doing it right, I think.
No, we're doing it right.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's elementary. But seriously, when you're cooking, like using classic techniques like this, we want to show you how you can modify things, and that's why we use the cassava flour. I mean, we're using milk, but
well, it does behave differently because it's a different product, but you can get the same effect, and it takes experimentation.
It does.
Sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes it does, and you stick with the ones that work.
That's right.
In terms of substitutions.
Yeah, and with cassava, as you can see, it only takes slightly longer, and right now, hopefully you haven't turned this off by now, because you are going to see a beautiful cream sauce. It's going to develop. It's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
So you're almost done adding that milk, and the reason why you're doing it gradually is why?
I wanted it to come out nicely.
Okay, there you go. And if you dump it in, then you have to work harder during the whisking process, and you might have clumps, and not that you don't see. So it's incredibly smooth. So smooth, honey. So you just keep doing that, and then
there you see those nice little bubbles. They were coming up.
It's getting thicker, and then once it gets thick, then you add the cheese. What kind of cheese do we have here?
Oh boy. I believe it was a Fontina and a sharp cheddar.
Yum. Fontina sharp cheddar.
You want to choose cheeses that have a nice melting quality, and those two are good melting cheeses. As you'll see, it's super good. Some, that's something to. They have charts for that. You can actually, if you don't remember, then you can just Google that. Like, what are the best melting cheeses for things like this, or if you're making a grilled cheese. Some, they based on the milk content and other factors. Some cheeses melt differently than others, as is the case with the reality of cheese.
Cheese charts. And see, this one, you're just adding more of that sharp cheddar, aren't you?
Or both. I had them mixed evenly.
Mixed evenly. And you see how initially, when you add it in, obviously, the cheese hasn't melted yet.
So that's turmeric powder.
Yes, and I thought that that would help make the sauce more orange. It's sort of, well, I would have had to add more, but I wouldn't add too much more.
Because we didn't really want turmeric flavor, because that
No.
would be weird and wrong.
But it is, if you look on the back of a packaged mac and cheese, you'll see that it's in there.
Yeah.
A lot of them have turmeric in there, and they put a lot though, but they also put a lot of salt in and a lot of other things. So once it's smooth, then you just
Add it to your cauliflower, and you incorporate
you fold
gently,
lovingly,
expertly.
slowly, just like that. And this really does. You were saying this earlier that we went all out on it. We were so excited about purple and orange cauliflower, but you don't really need a colored cauliflower.
Yeah, because now you're covering it. So you don't really see those colors so much anymore, but you know they're in there.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
So what's in that?
That's some cut up black olive.
I know I asked, but I actually know. I was just prompting you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So
So-
the olives make it salty too. Add saltiness and yumminess.
I'm gonna put in some scallions, both the green and white part. Gives it nice color, great flavor. Love scallions. Scallions are just the best.
Scallions are also green onions, just in case you're wondering. You can also add other greens to it too. This is a good time to add other greens like cut up kale really finely or spinach. I'd do that because I like getting greens in.
I wouldn't put kale. And here's some green peas.
Green peas.
Peas go great with cheese, not just because they rhyme, they just do. There's something about peas and cheese. They're just like buddies.
They're buddies, yes. So we put the peas in, and you can use frozen peas or fresh peas. I believe those were fresh from the farmer's market. Yes, they were, indeed.
So we have a buttered, nice ceramic dish.
I think they called this a casserole dish.
They do, and it's well buttered, so nothing's gonna stick. You could brush it with olive oil if you want, but we just went with butter because we figure we're going for kind of a rich gratin, and that's
We want it to be rich.
and because it just makes people super happy when it's all buttery and cheesy, and you've got nice texture.
Ultimate comfort food. And you know what? Have you noticed? There are no, so far, there's no bread on it. But of course, we changed that later because sometimes you gotta add breadcrumbs.
We changed it right about now, and here's homemade. What do you do with sourdough that you can't get to that you've made? You cut it up, you toast it, you make your own little croutons or breadcrumbs. We could have pulsed it in the Cuisinart
Yeah.
to make it super fine, but we went for the kind of more rustic, big chunks of breadcrumb. And in that one, we're adding a little bit of pre-sautéed little cubes of pork belly.
Yum. That's the one I'm having. All right, so then you just put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. And that's it right there. Isn't that beautiful? So take a nice generous scoop and serve it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, and it tastes amazing.
And really, it's all you need.
It's a meal. You could use it as a side dish, but that's a meal. It's really incredibly satisfying.
Okay, well, that was a wrap. Wasn't that good?
It was really super, super good.
Yeah.
And good in a way where, if you're thinking about the whole idea of substituting a potato for a cauliflower, this actually on its own, you're not going to eat this and go, oh, I wish that was a potato in there.
No.
It's super great. So
And also substituting regular white flour when you're making a roux for a cheese sauce. We substituted cassava flour, and
You'd never know.
Oh my gosh, because I've been experimenting with different types of gluten-free flours to make these creamy sauces, And I love cassava flour. You guys have got to try it. And I mean, the label does say it's for paleo people, so I guess a little bit would be okay.
Yeah.
And then you add cheese, and you're golden. I think it was delicious.
I do too.
Okay.
And hope you try it.
Yes.
And if you do, let us know how it turned out, and let us know about your thoughts and your feelings.
Yes, let us know your thoughts and feelings. You can let us know in the comments below. You can also email us at hello@marxculinary.com or subscribe. That's even better. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our email list.
Yeah,
Right?
and then we can, on an ongoing basis,
Harass you.
we can harass you, and also we can also be a part of your thoughts and feelings.
Yes, and we'll all be one wonderful
And
family.
comfort foods.
Don't get uncomfortable with that, okay? So,
No.
All right. Okay, I think we're done.
I think we enjoy being very
So
comfortable.
make that recipe, you guys.
Bye.
Check
See
it
you
out.
next time.
Bye.